Right guys, we are live and you are very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. I'm your host Craig and you're very welcome to the show. Apologies for the delayed start tonight. There was a bit of a technical issue. I'm working with a new setup here completely. I'm just trying to get used to it. There's a new light in the studio, there's new other few bits and pieces. I might be a bit brighter on your screen at this moment in time. I'm hoping that's a good thing. Farrell is in, Liverpool fan Will is in. How are you guys? Great to see you. Things are a little bit different with my setup tonight guys, so bear with me occasionally. I have to chat on a big screen off to my left. My laptop is far away. I'm trying to get rid of that fan noise that we spoke about before. So everybody, how are you? Great to have you all in with us for tonight's show. I'm just grabbing up the agenda here so we can get started. As soon as I get this open, then we're good to go. Right, cool, we're good to go. How are we? How are we all tonight? I am fucking excellent guys. I'm excellent. It was great seeing some of the English clubs playing Europa League football, and it just kind of made you so grateful that we're not in that situation anymore and we don't have to put up with that Thursday night shite, because my god, there's some fucking dross in that league. Lalu was in, Pepper Red's in, Vinny's in, Frankie's in, Will, Farrell. How the hell are you guys? Great to have you along on tonight's show. You know what guys, I have a packed agenda for you tonight. This is your show, as I always say. I answer your comments and talk about the things that you want to talk about, but for tonight I did make out an agenda. I have lots of things to talk about. First up, I want to have a chat about James Milner, but again we'll wait for the chat to fill up before that one. Milner's been nominated for the Champions League Player of the Week, which is absolutely brilliant and no more than the man deserves. He's been fucking quality for Liverpool so far this season, and it's great to see UEFA recognise that by nominating him for the Player of the Week. I do have a link. It's on the Anfield Agenda Twitter account. If anybody wants to vote for James Milner, pop over to that account at Anfield Agenda, have a look on there, and then you can just go from the link that we supplied on there. I think it's not the pinned tweet, but it's one of the first tweets. Go on there and there's a link on it. Khabib McGregor press conference at Nabil Fekir. That's going to be interesting. I'm not going to lie, man. That is going to be interesting, that press conference. You watching it, Nabil, said Junior. Is it on right now? All new setup, said Jurgen Klopp. Absolutely. I have a few different bits and pieces here. Yeah, things are going a little bit differently. Hope it looks good. Hope it looks okay to you guys. It's coming through okay on my screen. I hope it's all good at your end. What I've got, Ian, would you start Salah against Southampton, Craig? Do you know what, mate? I will get to that, but the quick answer to your question is probably no, mate, if I'm being honest. I wouldn't start him against Southampton. I'd probably give him a rest. But anyway, the thing I said I wanted to have a chat about first up tonight, guys, was James Milner. So James Milner, as I just mentioned, has been nominated for the Champions League Player of the Week award. It's you know, no more than the guy deserves, but I just want to have a chat and see what you guys think of James Milner this season, and is he possibly our greatest free transfer of all time? I can't really think of many more that we brought in for free that have had as big an impact as James Milner has. You guys might be able to help me out on this one. You could probably think of a few more, but for me, I just can't do it, guys. I just can't think of anybody else. Milner is a god, said Jurgen Klopp. Is the lip sync a tiny bit off, or am I imagining things, says Connor. Buddy, I haven't changed any settings whatsoever, so I couldn't tell you. But do you know what? I can give you access if you want to come in, buddy, and have a look at that for me. So just bear with me 2 seconds, Connor. I'll get that sorted out. I'll keep reading the comments though while I am. What have we got? Dirty Girls in. Hello, Craig and all the mods. Okay, Connor, bear with me. I'll get you the access to that now, mate. New system, new setup, guys, as I said, so it could well be that things are a little bit different. Right, I'm pulling this up for Connor, guys. Then I'll be right back into the chat. Okay, Connor, coming back to you now. 1 second, buddy. Cool. Right, here we go. Connor, I'm going to send it to you on WhatsApp as always. Brilliant. That's on its way to you, buddy. Sorry, guys, I'll get back to the chat now. Just a bit of a technical issue at the start here, and I want to make sure we get it resolved because I want the stream to be as good as possible. Anyway, get back to James Milner with your comments, guys. Hey Reds, hey Craig, said Sean Lund. Sorry for shouting again, said Pepper Red. He does love a caps lock. I have to say, Pepper, mate, you love a caps lock. I'm always doing it as well, forever leaving them on. What about Cam being a sexist then? Anthony, I was literally reading comments about that, buddy, before we started the stream. So Emre Can came out with his bullshit apology, as I'm sure you all know. And I was reading the comments underneath his post, or I doubt he even wrote the post himself, but I'm reading the comments underneath his post, and all I'm seeing is, oh, it's okay, Emre, don't worry about it, Emre, we love you, Emre, you're the greatest, Emre. And I was bringing myself back to some comments I read when there was some sexism issues in America between actors and stuff like that, and I was just thinking of the fucking hypocrisy between us football fans and regular people in the world. If it's one of our guys that do something, we absolutely love the guy, absolutely adore him, and he can't do any wrong. If it's somebody who we're not too sure about, or somebody who we don't know, we're all like, lynch him, lynch that motherfucker, kill him, sexist bastard. And I don't know where I am on this one, I have to say. It's a comment that, if I'm being honest, it could easily have come out of my mouth at a point in my lifetime. It's definitely something that I could have said at some point in my life. I'm not saying it's the right thing to say, but I think we've all said something like that. I don't think any big deal needs to be made of it, but look, the apology was pitiful, if we're being honest. If you're going to make an apology, at least make a decent one. Right, what else have we got in the chat? Paddy Burger was a good one as well, Sean Lund says, with regards to a free transfer. Okay, let me get back to your comments here, guys. If I don't look like I'm looking at the screen, bear with me. I have a few things that I am working on. And I'm working on a touchscreen system, so I can show you guys in the camera here. I'm using my phone. You can't see it there on the green screen, but I'm using my phone, and on my phone I have a touchscreen pad that's allowing me to control my laptop and stuff remotely from a distance. So Connor's logging in there now to sort out the sound issue. 19th or 6th, says Lalu. That's the question that many people are asking, 19th or 6th. For me, it's got to be 19th all the way. The league title is all I'm concerned about this season. Said it from the start. I dream about it. I go to sleep thinking about it. I wake up thinking about it. It's all that I fucking want, is that Champions League title. The bin child has been missing for a while now, said Pepper Red. I'm not gonna lie, mate, I have been a little bit concerned. I hope he's okay. Maybe he's on holidays or something, but maybe he just doesn't like us anymore. But either way, it is unusual for him to not be around, so whatever's up with the dude, I hope he's okay. I'm sure he is. 99% certain that there's absolutely nothing wrong with him. If we get Nabil in January, we will do the treble. Got a couple of people in the chat. Right, let me get that one back up. Evening everybody, said Steve Lyons. The bin child's been missing a while, as I said. And the assist as well for Jimmy Milner. So just getting back to that one, I don't think he's going to win this award, to be honest. I mean, Messi banged in a couple. Was it a couple? I think he scored a couple. He definitely scored an amazing free kick, but I think he scored a couple for Barcelona during the week. So he'll probably get the award, and deservedly so. But Jimmy Milner has to be up there or thereabouts, because he's been absolutely sensational this season. Cannot say enough good things about him. What else have we got here in the chat? Zoom in a bit, said Dirty Girl. Yeah, can't really do that from a distance here, to be fair. Connor's the only one that can work with the zooming in and stuff. So if you guys think I need to be zoomed in or I need to be made bigger, then Connor's your man to sort that one out. Hey the Red, said Sean Lunt. How are you guys? Great to see so many of you in tonight. Apologies about the pod earlier on. There was technical issues that weren't actually my fault for a change, or Connor's. And we just couldn't get the third person on, so we felt we couldn't go ahead with the podcast. Getting back to the little agenda I have done now for tonight, guys. See, there was an official groundbreaking ceremony today for the site at Kirby for the new training facility that the club are building. So Jurgen Klopp and a few other people were there to you know, dig the first hole in the ground with the spade. Connor, buddy, if you are watching, can you jump on there with the camera and just widen me a little bit, make me a little bit bigger? A few people are saying I look a bit small on their screen. I always think that's a good thing, by the way, when I'm small on your screen, because you don't get my big fat head 3D straight in your face. I always assume that that's a good thing. Okay, what else we got here in the chat? Salah needs a rest, said Imran Khan, and I tend to agree, mate. Getting on to that one, and we'll touch it a little bit later on. How many people feel that they'd like to see Salah rested at the weekend? And by rested, I'm not talking about moaning about the fact that he's not passing the ball or anything. I just genuinely wonder how many people think the dude needs a rest. Did you watch his interview after he learned English? No, I didn't see that. There's no way in hell Salah will be dropped. See, that's the confusion right there again. Why do people think that the word dropped has to be used here? What's wrong with the word rotation? Why do we always have to be so negative on this? If Mohamed Salah doesn't play this weekend, it's not because he was dropped. You're not going to drop Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah is too good of a player to drop. It's just going to be rotation. Maybe the dude needs a rest. Thank you, Connor, for sorting that out, by the way, buddy, with the image. As you guys can see, I'm now huge, monstrous on your screen now. Full effect 3D in your face. And if you've any complaints with Mona Dirty Girl, because she wanted a bigger me, so there you go. Not my fault, but thank you so much, Connor, for doing that, buddy. Celebrate by sliding on the dodgy knee, said Junior. Good evening, all. Skipper Dogs in the house. How are you? Imagine this interview LFC TV was probably in English. I guess you guys are talking about the fact that Fakir can speak a bit of English, which is yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's interesting. You hurt a little bit last night seeing that performance against Chelsea, didn't it? He could have been a Liverpool player. He could have been one of ours. A few people think it might still happen in January. I don't know. It's not really for me to say. What else have we got here in the chat? Good evening, Craig, said Pepper Red. Evening, Red, said Vinnie Johnson. Junior's in the chat. Lalu, how are we, guys? Lots of you in. I love seeing so many people. Alright, mate, said Max Preston. Yeah, getting on to that groundbreaking ceremony, it's good that the club have backed Jurgen Klopp with this training facility, because we know Kirby was his idea. He wanted to bring the first team and the under 18s, the under 21s together, so people can see a clear pathway through from the youth straight through to the first team, and I think that's a magnificent move by Klopp. And 50 million quid backing by the club as well, you can't argue with that. The owners have put their money where their mouth is there and given Klopp the facility that he thinks the club needs to go forward. What do you guys think on this? Do you agree? Do you like the idea of having the seniors and the underage teams in the same facility? So, as Klopp said, you can see that pathway through, and it makes it easier for Klopp as well to pop down, keep an eye on people. If one of the under 18s, the under 23s coaches says, Gaffer, you know what, this guy's doing really well, come down, have a word with him, have a look, give him a bit of a pat on the back. It might do him all the world of good. There's so many positives, so many pluses for this happening. But most importantly, that it's been built, I think, is a massive thing. And people often ask about the Annie Road end of the stadium. Well, I don't think you're going to see that done while they're working on this project. It's very unusual for a club to work on two capital projects at once, that I'm aware of anyway. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's unusual. They usually like to do one project at a time. So I'd imagine that we won't hear or see any development on the Annie Road end. Possibly here, actually. I might be wrong on that one. We might hear from the club that they're going to go ahead and do it at some point, but I don't think they'll put a spade in the ground until the Kirby site is done. What else have we got here in the chat? Khabib McGregor press conference, as I've seen earlier on. Okay, let me get my touchpad back open. Fakir is so slow, said Louis. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Sorry for shouting. Just to double check now, guys, is everybody okay? Are we happy with the zooming of the camera? Am I far enough away or close enough in? James Fullen's in the house, wants to know how everybody is. I'm tickety-boo, James, I have to say. Can some of you just confirm that the lip sync is correct? I'm looking too closely at it and can't tell if it's right or not, said Connor. As I said, we're using a new camera tonight, guys. We're using a new setup. A touchpad, lots and lots of new toys for me to play with, just to try and improve these content going forward, to try and get rid of that noise that used to be in the background, that humming noise from the fan of my laptop. It does my head in, and I've spent a shitload of money just to try and solve that issue. How fucking crazy is that? It's perfect, Craig. Thank you guys so much for that one. Stream looks fine to me. Did you see Nathaniel Klein Rolls Royce? Bit of me, I think. Yeah, fuck it, I wouldn't mind a roller, Dirty Girl, to be fair. I could do a roller. A roller definitely be a bit of me as well, so I get where you're coming from. Well, let me move back into my topics for tonight and see where we are. Now that we've got the chat and all up. Oh, yes. Joey Barton. So Joey Barton has hailed Liverpool fans for their amazing support of the team in the Champions League this season. But he thinks that Liverpool fans need to up their game at Premier League games. Now, this is something that, and I hate to give Mr. Barton any credit here, but this is something that I have heard our own fans talking about from time to time. So let me know what you guys think, because Joey Barton got a point here. We all know how amazing the Champions League crowds are at Anfield, but it's a time for the league crowd to, well, I said the league crowd, they're mainly the same fans, to be fair, with the season ticket holders anyway. Is it time for the league game for the fans to up their level? Or is it perhaps, when you're playing Paris Saint-Germain, it's a lot easier to get up for a game than if you're playing fucking Burnley at home, something like that. Are we just expecting too much of the fans, or is Joey Barton right? The fans do need to up their game and give the players that push they need to go for that title number 19. Right, let's see what you guys have to say in the chat. Khabib McGregor press conference is on, said Nabil Fakir earlier on in the chat. I'm going to watch that back later on, I have to say. Looks better, mate, said James Fullen. Good stuff, thank you guys. You done a rant, I heard. Last word of it was aimed at me. Paul, I don't know what is up with you, mate. Honest to God, I don't. But I'm not putting up with it anymore. Honest to God, I couldn't be arsed dealing with the shit that I've had over the past 2 days. And if anybody thinks that I've had a go at them in particular, I haven't. I haven't singled out a single person. In fact, bar the El Chapo thing, I've gone out of my way not to name names in these comments. So it's simple, Paul. I'm going to make it really easy for you here, mate. You can either stop all the moaning or you can just unsubscribe and leave, buddy, because I'm not going to put up with it anymore. You've been messaging Connor as well. I couldn't be bothered, buddy. People come on here to have a good time, enjoy themselves and chat about the Reds, not to listen to moaning and pettiness. What difference has it made this season? We've won 100%, said Will. And that's spot on. You were spot on there, Will. We have won every single game. And I have to keep reminding people of that occasionally, but you're right. We have won every single game. But I don't know, I think Joey Barton might have a point on this one. He is a prick, as Anthony and a couple of people are pointing out in the chat. He most certainly is a prick. I'm with you on that one. But he, you know, I don't like to give some people credit, but occasionally I give it to Mr. Goldbridge, and on this occasion I'm going to give it to Joey Barton. I think he has a point, but I don't think it's done purposely by the fans. I think it's just, can we say, the sexiness of the games. It's a lot easier to get up for playing Paris Saint-Germain than it is for playing Burnley, or I keep picking on Pearl Burnley here and I don't mean to. Let's just say Burnley, Southampton, any of those type of teams that aren't the big games, the Chelseas, the Manchester Uniteds, the Cities, the Evertons. Treble, Imran Khan's having a treble. We don't need advice from Joey Barton about how to help our team, seriously. I don't think those fans who have loud hellos, more flags, more flares, twirling scarves, who agrees? I'm all for twirling scarves and more flags and more flares, I have to say. You can, yeah, I'll sing and scream and watch those flags and flares forever. It's your channel, you can say what you like. That's the thing though, Imran, I don't like to call people out, buddy, and I don't like to be mean. I have no problem doing it to outsiders. Fuck me, I will call them all pricks and cunts and say whatever I want about them, but I respect the hell out of everybody in our chat, and I respect that people take the time to come in here. I love all of you guys. I sincerely mean that, and I don't throw that word around very much. You guys mean the world to me and Connor, and we appreciate the fact that you come on here. So for us to even have to say a cross word to the chat is really unusual, because how amazing it is our chat. We've said it ourselves time and time again. It's probably the most friendly chat I've seen on YouTube, and we all know each other so well. And look, I can understand that for some people that means that they feel that they're more deserving of things than others, if that makes sense, and I don't really think that's the case, and I don't think anybody does it intentionally either. Right, what else have we got in the chat? Where's Dirty Girls one? I think we need those fans who have, yeah, I've read that one out, and you're spot on as well. We have the best atmosphere, just think of Old Trafford, said Mega Donkey. Yeah, I've said before, it was at Old Trafford, it was many moons ago. I was at Old Trafford because all my family were United fans, and it was a cheap day trip over, and we all went over on the piss. So I think it was against Blackburn, and it was a League Cup game, maybe a quarter final. And again, I'm going back a few years here, but it was dead. It was absolutely dead. And look, to be fair, I may have picked a bad game, but I wasn't impressed at all with Old Trafford when I was there. Mossy Wassy said, yeah, fair enough against top teams, but fans aren't gonna be like a European game against the smaller teams. And yeah, I get that. That is a fair point. Salah looks exhausted. He needs a rest for the next 2 games, said Imran. Said Dirty Girl Vuvuzelas, said Tom. Oh, please, mate, no. Not them fucking Vuvuzelas. I thought we got the end of those during the World Cup in South Africa. They haunted me for that World Cup every fucking time. Even when the games weren't on, I was walking around my house or my back garden and I could still hear that humming in the background. That fuck, God, that ruined the World Cup for me. It really did. Let's be honest, at least we don't have the atmosphere of Man City handing out little flags to wave and bags of confetti, said Will. That is cheesy as fuck, isn't it? Welcome out the Centurions by waving your little flag and throwing this confetti at them, like giving people instructions on how to be a football fan. That's just pathetic. As was their attendance last night, by the way. We have to be honest about this. Their attendance for that game last night against Leon was fucking pitiful. And I don't give a shit what excuse their fans use, it was pitiful. Then you look at Anfield and you look at the fact that the fans pulled Liverpool through in that game. That game against Paris Saint-Germain could have easily ended in a draw. The Reds went, conceded that goal, but they didn't drop their heads. They didn't drop their heads. That's the beautiful thing. They kept going. Bobby Firmino, that gorgeous human being with those beautiful beaming white teeth, popped up to score an absolute belter. Did anybody see him at training with those cool shades on? The dude just looks cool as fuck, doesn't he? Even with the Edgar David shades on, he still looks a business. Right, what else have we got in the chat? Lovren will not get his place back because of Gomez, said Imran Khan. And Imran, you were spot on. How could you possibly drop young Joe Gomez to give Dejan Lovren a place at this moment in time? It's just, it would be madness. And look, to be fair, Lovren has been in great form for Liverpool, and I wouldn't be worried. If he did pop in, he did start, but you wouldn't want Joe Gomez having that shirt taken off him at this moment in time. The dude has been absolutely exceptional. Junior reckons Lovren's a better option off the bench than Joel Matip, and I'm on board with that 100%. I mean, you guys remember my comments about Joel Matip in the summer. I don't think you can get a run of games out of him, so if something did happen to say young Joe Gomez, he picked up a little knock on his knee or something and he was out for a month, then I'd definitely rather have Dejan Lovren partner Virgil van Dijk, because I think we'd probably get the month out of Dejan Lovren, whereas I don't think we'd get that. I don't think we'd get that at all. What score did the Red Bull Derby end up, Connor? I see you mentioned it in the chat. It was 3-2 to Salzburg last time I checked, with a couple of minutes to go. Mad game that altogether, by the way. 2-0 to Salzburg. Leipzig pull it back to 2-2, and then all of a sudden, within a second or two, it's back to 3-2. Crazy game. I like the way you called it the Red Bull Derby, even though they're trying to kid us by saying that they've nothing to do with it anymore, which is absolute horseshit. Rod is in the chat. Rod, how are you, sir? It's an early one for you, buddy. God almighty, 5:30 in the morning, you're up and about. Jesus Christ, man, have you wet the bed? I don't know what, Rod, I'm getting worried, buddy. You're never sleeping anymore. Paul, look, your dyslexia comment, as much as I respect it, mate, it's absolute horseshit. Nobody's ever said anything to you about your dyslexia on the stream, buddy. We've treated you very respectfully, on and off camera. So, to be saying you're paranoid over the dyslexia, I understand that, and I understand completely, mate. I don't want you to be paranoid about it. Nobody cares if you misspell a word, buddy. We love you. We want you on the channel. You're one of the best contributors we have on here, Paul, mate, and we want you here. Nobody wants you leaving the channel. So I'm glad to see you're sticking around. I am absolutely delighted, Paul, because I look forward to seeing you on here, buddy. You're one of the very first on here, and we appreciate the hell out of you. What else have we got? If Shaqiri starts, he'll score. And Paul, by the way, mate, you know I'm always around. If you want to contact me off stream or anything, buddy, just bang us an email or sort out a WhatsApp and I'll give you a call, mate. There's no problem having a chat. We love having you on here, buddy. You're one of the best contributors we have, and we don't want anybody feeling uncomfortable. This is a place where everybody should come feel safe and feel like they can chat about the Reds with friends. If Shaqiri starts, he'll score, said Lalu. I'm all for Shaqiri in this game, I'm not going to lie. In my head, he's already starting the game against Southampton. But Klopp could come back and kick me in the ass on this one. I hate to second guess the gaffer because you just never know. Lovren might be facing the jail sentence, said Megan Anki. Yeah, there is that as well. Not just him. I think there's a few of them in the Croatia team that might be facing that little spell away, shall we say. I'm not sure what the laws are like though in Spain, so they only just get away with fines for all this type of stuff, don't they? Which one was Craig disappointed with? I'm confused there. Sean said one Craig was disappointed with. I'm not sure what that means. Probably missed part of the comment though, to be fair. Joey Barton and Alan Brazil on TalkSport were questioning the Belgian midfielder Moussa Dembele, who hadn't been called up to the French squad. What the fuck, dumber and dumber. Oh god, you've nailed it, Damo. Absolute pair of fucking clowns. It ended 3-2, said Connor, in the Red Bull Derby to Salzburg. Wonder did it win my bet. Needed a header and a goal from outside the box. You have a fair chance in a 3-2 game that you'd have got them, to be fair, so I would check on that one. When is Brewster coming back, asked Imran Khan. The honest answer, mate, is I don't know. I had heard November, and then I think that was pushed back a little bit, but around Christmas is where I'm guessing, but I cannot wait to see this dude. I honestly can't. I hope we're still in the cups. I hope we're still in the League Cup at that stage as well, because I want to see him get some game times, get some minutes under his belt. And we've got to be honest, we're probably able to write this season off for Ian Brewster, because even if he comes back, he's after having a long stretch out, so he's going to have to get back to fitness. Paul said, thank you, I will. I'm having problems. Mate, I'm here all the time. For everybody in the chat, I'm always around. I always make myself available if anybody wants to chat. I can't promise I'll always be helpful, but I'm definitely here to listen, guys. So Paul, mate, door's always open. If you can't get a hold of me, get Connor and he'll put you in touch. But either way, I'm here, mate. I'm here for everybody in the chat. We're all a family on here. Senor El Flamo, I love saying your name, buddy. I fucking love saying it. Senor El Flamo. It makes me feel like Spanish or something. But Modric as well, said Mossy Rossi. There's a few of them fuckers, isn't there, that are up for it. Just going through my little agenda here as well. Oh yes, something we touched on last night. We had a little moan about the people who were having a go at Sadio Mane. And a couple of people mentioned that they felt that there was a lot of Egyptians that were having a go at Sadio Mane. I didn't know. I hadn't read many of the comments. I'd just seen a few screenshots from Instagram and stuff that Connor had sent me. But on this, and I want to read this out so I can get it correct, the official Liverpool Supporters Club of Egypt have responded by issuing an apology in response to the online trolling of Sadio Mane. Khalid Youssef, Vice President of the official Supporters Club in Egypt, spoke to the Liverpool Echo about the messages. He said they're horrible, horrible comments. He said it's disgraceful and it doesn't represent our Egyptian fans. So, thoughts on that, guys? How am I going to phrase this one? I respect the hell out of the gentleman for coming and making those comments. I respect the hell of every Egyptian fan that follows Liverpool Football Club. But it's not really his place to have to apologise, if you get me. I think there is a crossover of fans here, and it's something that we spoke about the other night. There is a section of fans from Egypt that are Liverpool fans, and now there's a section of fans from Egypt that are, of course, Mohamed Salah fans. Now, Mohamed Salah, as we know, is an absolute superstar all around the world, but nowhere more so than in his home country of Egypt. He's idolised by the nation, and rightly so, because he's done a lot of wonderful things for the Egyptian people. It's hard for some of us to comprehend that people are fans of a player and not really a football club so much. So if Mohamed Salah were to move, say, to just pick a team at random, AC Milan, if he was to move to AC Milan in 6 months' time, then of course a lot of that following for Mohamed Salah would move towards AC Milan. Now, it's great for us as a club, and I'm sure it's great for the owners that Mohamed Salah is here and we have this massive Egyptian fan base. So I think it's time for us as a fan base to realise that there is this cross section now. When you have a player as big as Mohamed Salah, you're going to have people who follow the player, and that seems completely alien to us because we're Liverpool football fans, and we always have these comments and say that it's about the badge on their chest and no player is bigger than the club, and as I said, the badge in the chest, not the name on the back. So I understand where the gentleman is coming from, but I don't think that he really needs to be making those apologies on behalf of the Egyptian Liverpool fans, because I don't think this was really Liverpool fans that did it or that were doing the trolling. Just my 2 cents on it. I'm going to jump into the chat now and see how you're all feeling about this, see what your thoughts are on it. It's a sensitive subject because online trolling is something we don't want to see in any way, shape or form, not just in football, in life. And Sadio Mane doesn't deserve it. I mean, the guy is just an absolutely lovely human being. We've seen the stuff around his mosque and stuff that he was cleaning the bathrooms in there. And look, that's his own personality. That's his private life. That's for him to do. I won't judge anybody, any footballer, for anything they do other than what they do on a football field, because that's all I'm concerned about as a fan, is what the players do on the football field. So I'm going to jump into the chat, see how you guys are feeling about it, see what your thoughts are on it. Blue spanner for me now. Yes, mate, I did promise you. I am as good as my word, so bear with me there while I sort that one out for you. There you go, sir. Blue spanner. And I did promise it to you, so thank you for that one. Far Royal is in the house. How are you, Far Royal? I've seen you in earlier on as well. Great to have you with us. Right, I'm going to try and get through these comments. This touchpad is so new for me to get used to, guys, so bear with me if I look a little bit confused at times. Imran's going for Liverpool team to play Chelsea in the Cup. Mignolet, Klein, Lovren, Matip, Moreno, Milner, Fabinho, Curtis Jones, Shaqiri, Sturridge and Origi. Strong enough team, that, to be fair. LFC _5 said a few Egyptians and rival fans were involved. Well, look, rival fans, there's not really much we can do anything about. And that gentleman who issued the apology certainly doesn't have anything to apologise for in that sense either. And rival fans are assholes, we know that. As we say here on this stream all the time, fuck them. Fuck anybody who has anything negative to say about Liverpool, because we don't give a fuck what they have to say. What else? I'm Egyptian, said I'm a happy guy. Well, there you go. There you go, mate. Give us your side of this one. If you're Egyptian, I'd love to hear. You will obviously know a lot more about this than me, mate. So maybe you can give us a couple of lines on the fan base. And was it kind of right where I was coming from, that there are some people who follow Mohamed Salah and because he's at Liverpool, they're Liverpool fans, or have I got that one completely off the mark? Okay, where else are we? Skipper Dog said, I have dyslexia as well. As does my... Well, no, actually it's not dyslexia my wife's brother has. Is it dyspraxia? I think it's dyspraxia. This just shows how ignorant I am about these things, guys. I apologise. Rod said, hey Connor, enjoyed the live stream with you guys. I have to say, that was so much fun. Doing that live stream for the Paris Saint-Germain game with Connor. I watched back the celebration of the fifth goal of the game, the Firmino goal. And God, I apologise to anybody who was listening down the other end of that microphone, because it got a bit loud. It was a bit raucous, but as you can see, we're fans and it was just raw emotion, really. Right, where else are we? There's always idiots, they all need to chill, said Dirty Girl. I'm Egyptian, I want a blue spanner. I'm sure I just gave you a blue spanner, mate. I'm sure I did. Salah will start, says Khalil. Well, on that one, why don't we have a little jump forward and why don't we have a little chat about the team to play Southampton? Let me guys know what type of changes you're expecting. I have 3 in my head for some reason. I think we spoke about this last night. Somebody in the chat brought it up. I'm expecting to see Mohamed Salah rested. I'm expecting to see Bobby Firmino rested as well, if I'm being honest, and one of the midfield 3. Now who comes in for them, I suppose that's up for debate. I'm going to go with Shaqiri. I'm going to let Daniel Sturridge keep his place up front. And I'll probably go with Fabinho maybe, or Keita to come in the midfield. But look, let me guys know what you're expecting. Or let me know what you guys are expecting, excuse me. It's tough to second guess Jurgen Klopp. We can look at this and think, well look, we've got 2 games now that we could sort of move the team around a little bit. But then of course you have the whole theory behind don't change a winning team and don't fuck shit up when you've got 6 in a row. Don't jinx yourself. And lots of people say that and they're right. They're right to an extent, but at the same time Jurgen Klopp will be listening to the medical team, he'll be listening to the sports science team, and they'll be telling him, look, it's a long season, Jurgen. These guys already have minutes in the legs, a lot of them coming back after a hard summer and a World Cup, so maybe this is a chance for them to give him a couple of days off. If you were to say give Salah and Bobby this game off and put them on the bench for the Chelsea game, so you know they could get up to maybe 10 days off there then. Okay, so let's see how you guys are feeling about this one. Juniors team for the Saints game is Alisson, Trent, Gomez, VVD, Robbo, Fabinho, Hendo, Naby, Shaqiri, Bobby and Mane. It's a pretty strong team, buddy. I'd be very confident that that team could go out there and get the 3 points. One header and 4 from inside the box, said Connor. Sorry your bet didn't come in, buddy. Farwell said, I'm thinking a few on the bench, rotate 2, keep fresh. If things aren't going well, we can sub them in. And I am a happy guy said, us Egyptians should be more respectful. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on that, buddy. Appreciate you popping in and letting us know. So Ant's team is Alisson, Trent, Robbo, Virgil, Gomez, Milner, Keita, Fabinho, Mane, Sturridge and Shaqiri. Again, very strong team, and one that it would be more than capable of going out there and getting the win against Southampton. I watched the Southampton game actually, the last game against, who was it they were playing? They drew 2-2. Brighton. Wasn't impressed with them at all. They completely capitulated against Brighton. And that penalty right at the end as well was almost farcical, but they're going to come and try and prove something. I don't think they're going to be capable of getting anything. I think it's up to us to make sure we get an early goal as well and stop Southampton trying to sit back and play on the counter-attack. But that's if they even do. Actually, I haven't watched enough of them to know if that's even how they play. I just assume that's how most teams are going to come to Anfield and play. I'm a happy guy, said Sadio is a very nice person. Imran's team, Trent, Gomez, Milner, Salah, Firmino. Oh, we said, sorry, they need resting. So Trent, Gomez, Milner, Salah, Firmino all need resting against Southampton. Junior's going for Alisson, Trent, Gomez, VVD, Robbo, Fabinho, Naby, Hendo, Shaqiri, Bobby and Mane. I'm a happy guy. He's gone 3 or 4-0 to Liverpool, and I don't think that's too optimistic. I mean, I think he could be on the money there. There's no reason why we shouldn't be going out and looking to win this game handily. I think 3 or 4-0 should be what we're expecting. Can't wait to eat this pie, said Sam Allardyce. I love he pops in every so often. Don't forget the gravy, Sam. It's important. If you're going to have a pie, mate, you don't want to get that dry throat. Make sure you have a good drop of Bisto on that motherfucker. Cameron said, thoughts on Joey Barton's comments. You must have missed the Cameron, mate. We just spoke about them. I think he sort of has a point, Cameron. It's tough to have a go at the fans at league games because it's only natural that you're going to get more up for games against, you know, Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City than some of the lesser teams, shall we say, in the league. So yeah, I get where he's coming from. Maybe if it wasn't Joey Barton that said it, we might be a little bit more kind about what we're saying. Blue Tick Gaming reckons a 4-0 as well to the Reds. Dirty Girl said I'd play Shaqiri and Fabinho, rest Salah until the second half, rest Milner as well. Steve Lyons said, and this happens to me from time to time as well, he said, I just realised we're playing at home at the weekend. I thought we were away. That always happens to me. I don't know why. I'm a fucker for thinking that we're playing away a lot of the time when we're home. Fabinho should start, said I'm a happy guy. And a lot of people were looking for him to start against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League. Of course, they had good reasons. They said he knows how to play against Paris. He's played them in the French League many times. I never really expected him to start. I thought it was one step too far to bring him in for that game, even though he has played against Paris on numerous occasions. Chelsea for me seems to be a good spot, but this weekend as well, I would have absolutely no problems with Fabinho starting this weekend. It makes more sense for it to be here at the cup game, in my humble opinion anyway. Junior said, decent, yeah, watching the McGregor press conference. I'm going to watch that back when this stream's over. Don't you worry about that. Let me know if anything mad happens, by the way, Junior, because you never know with that crazy Irish cunt. And I can say crazy Irish cunt because I myself am a bald Irish cunt. So it's perfectly acceptable for me to say the word Irish cunt because I am one. So there you go. I get that carte blanche. I get that card that I can just play at any time. Hi, love the stream, said Andrew Moore. Thank you, Andrew. That's really kind of you, mate. It's great to have you on with us. And guys, if you're tuning into the stream, firstly, you're all absolute legends. Thank you for joining us. It means the world to us that you're here tonight. Take a second if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please, guys. And of course, give us that thumbs up. Last time I checked, we were getting close. I think we were 10 away from 3,900, 8,900. I was getting ahead of myself there. Yeah, just 10 or so away. So I really want to try and get there tonight. I know it might be a little bit greedy looking for 10 subs on this stream, but I think we can do it. If you're watching, guys, you haven't hit the sub button, or you're new to the channel, like Andrew there, hit that subscribe button, guys, please. It really makes a difference to us. Crosby Red is in the house. How are you? Craig, you watching the McGregor press conference? I wish I was. I honestly wish I was, but this is my first priority. To come on here and talk to you guys is always my number one priority. So I've given it a miss and I'll watch it back later on. Paul said, I don't care who starts as long as Robbo starts. Paul, did you see that image I posted up on the Anfield Agenda account? The image of Robbo going into the tunnel, kind of arms out like this, giving all the fans high fives. It's one of my favourite images of the season so far. Absolute belter. And I love the way the club have painted the tunnel, and they painted the way where the coaches go in under the main stand as well. It looks absolutely class. Cameron said, I don't think Barton was trying to be negative. We've heard and seen a lot worse from him. We fucking have. The world certainly has heard a lot worse than that from him. This could be the team that gets a trashing, said Vinny. Someone's getting it. Someone's getting a fucking kicking at Anfield this season. And I'd rather it to be Spurs or Arsenal or somebody like that, but somebody is getting an absolute pasting this season at Anfield. Klopp has banned all moaners from his team, and it shows. 7 out of 7 for Rod. 7 out of 7, guys. I mean, what was the record? That was it Chelsea? Chelsea went 13, is that right? Am I correct in that one? Did Chelsea got 13 wins in a row? Megan Anke said, if we had the same atmosphere in league games, that would make a Champions League game not so special, in his opinion. I get you. And we spoke about this only a couple of weeks ago, because the Reds have had 2 early kickoffs in a row. We had the Leicester game at 12:30 and the Spurs game at 12:30. And it's impossible, with all the best intentions in the world, it's impossible to recreate a Champions League game under the lights against a 12:30 kickoff, whether it's home or away. It's just impossible. And we all know the Travelling Cop are fucking amazing. The amount of times I've praised them on streams and stuff, they're unbelievable. Some of the best fans in the world. But it's very, very hard to get up for a game at 12:30 in the afternoon. There's just something at night time under the lights. It kind of brings out that primal nature or something in you, and it's just better. There's no two ways about it. In my opinion, it's just better watching football under the lights, and it makes it easier. Andrew said, I sub now. Thank you, mate. That's really kind of you. Thank you very much. Great to have you with us, and do keep popping into the chat, mate. We love to see new subs, and we love to see new people in the chat. Let us know your thoughts and opinions. Christopher McIver said, team against Southampton. Is that McIver or McVicker? Excuse me, McVicker, I think. Apologies, Christopher. Team against Southampton: Alisson, VVD, Gomez, Trent, Robbo, Fabinho, Henderson, Keita, Shaqiri, Sturridge and Salah. Let me just process that team on my head, buddy. So back four, sound, midfield, Fabinho, Henderson, Keita, Shaqiri, Sturridge, Salah. So rest of Mane and Firmino. Nice. Yeah. Some people will want, of course, to play Mo Salah into form, and I get that as well. A lot of people think that if you just keep plugging away, he keeps going, he bangs in a couple, the season could turn around. There was a point last year with Mane, I think something similar happened. Name me a better fullback than Robbo. I'd struggle to Imran. It's not an easy question, buddy. Right, I'm going to flick back through in case there's a couple of comments I missed here in the last few minutes, because I hate to think people don't think I'm reading them out. James Fullen said, can't believe this run. I'm so proud of what we've become in the past years. We've always had a good team and nearly pinched the title before. This season, it's going to be ours. I fucking hope so, mate. I really do. I want that title more than anything. And I mean pretty much almost anything. Outside of my family, I'd give nearly fucking anything for us to win that title. Damo said, nothing would surprise me with Klopp's team selection. He can see things in a player that nobody else sees. Shaqiri looks like he's bursting to start a game. I think he's going to do big things this season. I really do. Crosby Red said, does anyone remember the Southampton kid who held his hand up with a written poster asking not to take any more of their players? I almost felt guilty. I don't remember that actually, but I do remember Sadio Mane being stopped outside by a kid for a photograph or something, and he said to Sadio Mane, don't go, please stay at the club. And Sadio said something like, I'll try my best, or something along those lines. And I remember just thinking, oh, you know you're lying to him, buddy. I know why you're doing it. You don't want to hurt the child, but you know you're leaving soon. Krishna said, for the League Cup his team would be Mignolet, Klein, Matip, Klein, Moreno. Oh no, I think you went with Nat Phillips there, excuse me. I went Nat and I thought you were saying Nathaniel Klein, so I'll go again. Mignolet, Klein, Matip, Nat Phillips, Moreno, Fabinho, Keita, Hendo, Shaqiri, Sturridge and Solanke. Again, that's, for an almost reserve team, Krishna, that's a pretty strong team as well. It goes to show you the strength and depth that we have at the minute. Krishna said only change is cater for Hendo for the weekend. Stig Blom Anderson said, hi all, just listening in today. Keep it good. Great to have you with us, Stiggy. And I'm going to call you Stiggy from now on because I feel we're close now, buddy. I feel like Stiggy is something that I can call you. If I can't, be sure to let me know and I'll just keep doing it to wind you up then. Lots of team selections coming in as well. I'll try and get through as many of them as I can, but I can't read them all out because people will get completely bored of me reading our team selections. Farrell said, I'm thinking a few on the bench rotate in, keep fresh. No need to apologise about my second name. Most people get it wrong. No, it's just the way I have it on my screen. I have two screens open in front of me, buddy. One is a 42-inch television that's about 18 inches away from my face. So if you keep seeing me glancing like this, I'm looking at a screen to try and read out the comments. Then I have my laptop screen that's open about 6 feet away from me, and then I'm blinded by a ring light right in front of my face as well to try and make sure it's bright enough. So there's a lot going on around me here, so if my head wanders from time to time, just understand that I'm trying to look at a few different things at once to keep this all ticking along. Fan, I hunt the love button, said Rod Mente. Rod, you lash the shit out of that button, buddy. Hammer that like button. Paul's going for 3-0 to the Reds at the weekend. I'm having that score, buddy. That'll do very nicely. 4-0 for Junior. Sean Lunt said, I never want to lose again. Why should we, Sean? You're right. Fuck it. Let's do it, lads. Let's just go on it. No more losing. Occasional draw just to let the world know that we're human. But apart from that, fuck it. We just keep winning. And Sean's going for 3-0 as well. Christopher said, I honestly think Liverpool have a squad capable of winning the double. Maybe I'm being crazy. Maybe a treble. I can dream after all. You certainly fucking can, mate. Why not? And this is it. Why not? Why not say let's go for it? We're in every competition at the minute. We've every right to just keep going and think we can do it. Until we're booted out of them, then why not? Craig, did that child say the same to Lallana, Klein, Lover, etc.? I don't know, Paul. I honestly don't, mate. I really felt bad for the little dude though, because you could see Sadio, he wanted to not hurt the child because he was smiling when he was talking, but yeah, I don't know. If he did, then the child's going to be awfully disappointed, mate, isn't he? He would have had a lot of people lie to him recently. Sauce Overload, great name, said, am I the only one who thinks we may actually be able to go the whole season unbeaten? We are invincible. That has me singing that song. There was a song, wasn't there? Invincible, invincible. Who was it? Fuck. English rapper, can't think of his name. Somebody will let me know. Tiny Temper. Was it Tiny Temper that had the song Invincible? I think it was. Van Dijk has his own orbit, says Ryan. Why not? Why not? 5-0 to the Redmen, says Antico at the weekend. 4-0 sounds good to Steve Lyons. Just in case we draw, don't panic, said Rod. I'm dreading the thoughts of doing a stream when we don't win, because I haven't had to do it yet so far in competitive football. We've had 6 games so far this season, and this is our first full season having this stream. So 6 games, 6 wins, and it's all been fucking happiness and joy. I'm dreading the thoughts of having to come on after the Reds drop some points, or perhaps even lose a game if that happens someday. Don't know what to expect, guys, because there's been a few moaners around, not on the stream so much, but definitely within our fan base. There's been a few moaners around when the Reds have won, so I fucking dread to see what will happen if we lose. Squism said undefeated at Anfield last season, undefeated again this season, and will be undefeated away as well. Oh, just a quick heads up, guys. Next Thursday, we are going to a show as a family. We're bringing my wife's parents out to a show for the evening up in Dublin, so probably won't be able to get on next Thursday. And if I do get on, it will be a late one. It'll probably be 11:30 if I get on next Thursday, being honest with you guys. Want to give you a bit of a heads up just in case anyone has any plans or anything like that. It's a long way away, it's a week away, so bear with me, but just want to be honest and say next Thursday it's going to be a very late one. May have to move the podcast to a different day next week. Tiny and Labyrinth, mate. Thank you very much. I knew it was one of those dudes anyway. It's a great song. Van Dijk comments today totally melted my heart. I was nearly crying reading that. Big Virgil in loving the whole Liverpool experience. What a dude. Guys, I have to say I missed these comments. So please let me know. What are the comments? What did Virg say? I've been so busy today that I made my schedule out earlier on in the day. Got the stuff I needed to get done, and then I was flat out for the rest of the day, so I didn't get a chance to read any of these. VVD needs a song, said Crosby Red. He needs a song, a medal, a hug, a kiss, a stand named after him, a Ballon d'Or, a player of the season, his number retired. There's so many fucking things that amazing guy needs. What's the Machine Gun Kelly? That definitely wasn't the guy who sang that song. Although he may have a song called Invincible, Sean. You could be right, but isn't this the song I was thinking of anyway? You feeling okay, Craig? Yes, Jonathan, mate. Why wouldn't I be feeling okay? I'm absolutely spot on. Khabib or McGregor, said Corey Watts. Look, I'm Irish, buddy. I think you know the answer to that one. It's Conor McGregor all day long for me. And I'm not the biggest UFC fan, and I know Khabib. I don't know much about Khabib, but I know Khabib is supposed to be absolutely savage, unbeaten as well, I believe, in MMA. So I don't know. I'm going Team Conor all the way because he's Irish and I'm a passionate Irish man. The Chelsea away league game will be a tough test for us, but no reason we can't go there and get a win, said Ant. Yeah, Spurs as well. Let's be fair. Spurs away was a very tricky game, and one that I was pretty worried about. But we went there, we handled the game really well, and the comments we're getting from the media are very, very pleasant lately. They really think the Reds are the real deal and that Liverpool are more than capable of making a big push this season, and that's great to see. I often read through predictions of games from websites and pundits and stuff, and a lot of the time they always have questions about a certain part of Liverpool's team or the form we're on or something along those lines, but lately everybody's just getting behind them and thinking that Liverpool are just capable of going on this run and being unbeaten. And I'm not saying people think we're going to go unbeaten for the entire season, but a lot of people are thinking that this could well be the year we make a big push. It's fucking scary to think about it, and you almost don't want to jinx it by talking about it, but let's not undervalue how good we are, guys. Let's not undervalue quite how brilliant this squad is and how good Jurgen Klopp has these guys playing. It's somewhat of a different style to how we played last season, and there's been a few tweaks. I think we've been a little bit more solid defensively. I spoke about something I noticed a lot. When we're in possession and the centre backs have the ball and they play it out wide to Trent in particular, a lot of the time I think Trent is cutting back on the inside because he doesn't want to try and take a man on to go wide and turn over possession. Just something I've picked up on. I could be picking it up completely wrong, but I think he's been a little bit safer with the ball, and we're trying not to turn over possession like that. Which of course we try and do to teams all the time. We try and press high, get possession as far up the field as we can, because we know if we can turn over possession in the final third with the speed and pace we have, it could be fucking good night Vienna for the opposition. Have a week off, Craig. You deserve it, said Sean. I'm going to have 2 weeks off fairly soon, Sean. I'm going on a vacation on the 9th of October until the 24th. So yeah, gonna have 2 full weeks off. Gonna bring my laptop to Orlando with me, just in case I can sneak a quick stream or two in while I'm over there without the wife kicking my ass. Paul said, Craig, your bet live notice Bobby just beats him to the ball, but the buzz when VVD heads one in. As you said, Paul, my bet, I've had a bet on for that one every single week. I'm going to keep sticking a fiver on Virgil van Dijk to score a header, because the dude will score one eventually, and then we'll all celebrate Paul. Paul's also Team Connor. Absolutely. That song, as you said there, Hypnotise. Oh, when he walks out to that, Notorious B.I.G. Hypnotise, sometimes with a little bit of an Irish anthem before it as well. It's fucking class. You cannot go wrong. VVD reckons the only thing we won't win this year is the Grand National. I don't know, man. There'll be a few fucking donkeys in our team occasionally, so we can put them in. What's Mignolet doing? Can we get him ready for the Grand National? Will we have him track ready? What's his form like lately? What's the going like? Good to firm? I don't even know what that fucking means, by the way. Just don't watch horse racing at all, but just pick that off. Some of the occasional tips you see pop up. I think Chelsea will be almost full strength for the League Cup, said Krishna. Said he wanted to win everything with these lads and make memories, said Sean. That's fucking class. It makes you love Big Verge even more, doesn't it? Craig deserves a break, although I would love him to stream from the NASA Museum in front of the Apollo module. Rod, mate, I'm not allowed fucking go there. I've had this conversation, I think it was Ant I had it with before. This is our 5th trip with the kids, I think. It's the 5th with the kids to Orlando, and none of them will ever accompany me to NASA, to the Space Centre. None of them. I've wanted and tried to get them there every single time. I've tried everything. I've tried fucking bribery, everything I can think of, and they won't go. This is the last trip we're going on to Orlando for a few years, so if I don't get there this year, Rod, I'm fucking screwed, mate. I'm going to try my best. Ryan said, I signed Millie from my FIFA 19 Ultimate Team and he scored second minute on his debut. It's realistic stuff then. There you go. Conor will beat Khabib as long as he can keep the fight off the ground. Conor the first 2 rounds or Khabib's superior cardio will kill Conor. My prediction is Conor knockout early in the second. How did the press conference go, by the way? For anyone who's watching, I might be able to let me know. I will be watching it back later on, but anything exciting happen, any fucking chairs, bottles get thrown around, that like that. Blue tick game, you nailed that one. You were spot on with that. Chelsea always do good with a new manager the season after they just switch off and they end up sacking him. How many times has that happened with Chelsea? It's fucking craziness. Just don't get called a nonce by a kid, like he shall not be named. Oh, shite, isn't he? Honest to God. I think most people know what or who we're talking about there. Paul said, last year City went on a winning streak and went 7 or 8 points ahead before Chelsea went 10 games win and run. Both won the league. If you can put daylight between us and the rest, yeah, you can do it, mate, you're right. If you can get this run of games together, and we're already 6 clear of Arsenal, 6 clear of Spurs, 6 clear of United, 2 clear of Manchester City, 3 clear of Watford, although they're probably going to fade away as the season goes on, then yeah, you're right, mate, we can put this gap and we can make teams chase us for a change. And how fucking nice is that? Steve, buddy, thank you for joining us on the stream. Guys, don't forget, if you are watching, if it's your first time, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and try and get us to 3,900 subs. I don't know where we are at the minute. Connor, buddy, if you're still watching or if you're still in the chat, maybe you can let me know. I had it in my head that I really wanted to try and get there on this stream. If we can do it, great. If we can't, look, it's not the end of the world. But if you haven't yet subscribed, please do, lads. It means a lot to us. Sam Allardyce is off to get more gravy. See you all tomorrow. Good luck, Sam. And don't get out and put the best, mate. You deserve it. Right, a few more things I wanted to. Foggy Dew, Irish Anthem, Spine Tingling. It's a fucking belter of a song, Paul, isn't it? Right, so you guys know occasionally I like to have a bit of a rant about Spanish newspapers. I did it in the summer. I did it when Coutinho was being chased by Barcelona. I did it when they were talking about Sadio Mane possibly going to Real Madrid, and a few other times as well. But something I read today, again, like Joey Barton, I'm giving somebody credit who I don't usually give it to. So I'm going to read this one out to you. Usually I'm complaining about Marca, but today, as I said, I'm going to give them a little bit of credit. So in Marca's latest publication, they've given 10 reasons why they think this is Liverpool's year this year and why they will go and possibly win the Premier League or the Champions League. So I'm going to go through the reasons one by one. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree with what Marca have to say. Or, look, I think you will actually. I won't say, or do you think they're talking bollocks? Because I think you'll mainly agree. So the first point that they made about Liverpool was the scoring power of the team, which is fairly evident. We've seen that last season. We know what we're capable of. We know how many goals we can bang in. The second point was, of course, the forwards, which kind of leads in from the scoring power they were talking about. We have a collection of the best 3 forwards currently in Europe, in my opinion, particularly at the same club. We've seen what happened the other night. You could say to me, look, Craig, Paris Saint-Germain have Mbappe, Neymar, Cavani. They did. They came to Anfield. They didn't do very much, did they? Mbappe got his goal. Other than that, they were pretty quiet. Whereas our forwards, even not at their best, had a much bigger impact on that game of football. So the next point, the third point that Marca went with for the reason why they believe Liverpool can win this league or the Champions League, is Klopp's evolution of the team. So Basically how Klopp has come in, given his theory, his thoughts on how he wants us to play, got the team playing that way, brought in the right personnel, brought in the right staff, and basically made people believe in themselves and made people believe that if they listen to him, if they stay as part of a team, if they believe in each other, fight for each other, that anything is possible. And when you get the results that we've had over the past 18 months, you've seen that run to the Champions League final last year, then it's hard to say to Klopp, I don't believe you, or it's hard to say to anybody that this lad's talking shite, because he's not. The results are there, they're plain to see. So number 4 was the defence. Now this is a subject that, Jesus, we could talk about for hours, and we have spoken about many times. It used to be a reason why people poked holes at us or poked fun at Liverpool. There was always that Liverpool were shaky, they had a great attack, but the defence was always their Achilles heel. Well, that's no longer the case. Some people might say that's fully down to Virgil van Dijk coming in and sorting it out. It's certainly part of it. Others will say, well, we've seen Andy Robertson drop in, Trent Alexander-Arnold has come into his own, and our centre-back pairing, whether that be Dejan Lovren or Joe Gomez, has come in and played really well. Whatever the reason is, whether it's the fact that we now have a settled back four, our defence is strong. We aren't conceding many goals. 2 goals conceded in the Premier League this season has to be the fewest yet of any team. I haven't checked, but I'd be amazed if anybody's conceded less. The next one kind of again leads on from the defence. It's Alisson arriving at Liverpool Football Club. Alisson Becker is, for me, the missing piece of the jigsaw, or one of the final pieces of the jigsaw. All summer we wondered, would Liverpool bring in a top level goalkeeper? Everybody thought the same. We all knew that Karius wasn't quite there. Simon Mignolet hasn't proved himself enough, and we moved on Danny Ward. So there was a gaping hole for Liverpool to fill, and we went out and did it. We went out and did it with a fucking big way. Like we didn't hold back. We went out and we spent a world record fee on a goalkeeper. That was beaten a few weeks later, which is fucking brilliant because it takes the pressure off Alisson. But they didn't mess about. They went out and they got the one that they wanted. They paid the money, much like they did with the centre back with Verge, and we got him in. And we can see again the results are already shown for themselves. So reason number 6 is this 6? No, reason number 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Anyway, the next reason is the departure of Felipe Coutinho. The reason that they mention Felipe Coutinho leaving is because Marca believe that this has allowed Liverpool's press to improve and has allowed us to play better as a unit, which I think makes a lot of sense. It's hard to say that losing Coutinho from any team or any team in the world makes that team better, but it did. It honestly did for us last year. When Coutinho left, there were so many posts on social media saying, that's it, that's the end of the Liverpool season. The club are absolutely ridiculous in this one. How the fuck could they do this? Who do they think they are getting rid of Coutinho? We're a selling club, yada yada yada. But all the time Jurgen Klopp was saying, be calm, it's okay, no problems, we'll move on. The players at the club will get better, we'll carry on, we'll have a good season. And he was right. Once again, the gaffer was right. So, Marca, again, their comment about Felipe Coutinho does make a bit of sense. Next up, of course, is strength in depth. Now, this is probably the first season I think we can say we really have that. We brought in some players last year, there's no doubt we improved the squad, but the Champions League final alone let us know that we hadn't got the depth that we needed. We looked to the bench in the Champions League final, we had an unfit Emre Can, an unfit Adam Lallana and Dominic Solanke as our options to come on and change the game when we're chasing a European final against the most informed team in Europe, Real Madrid, winning Champions League for the fun of it, and we had those options on the bench. This year, how many times have we had a conversation where we've looked at Liverpool's bench and said, fucking hell, that's a strong bench, there is options there for Jurgen Klopp. People have had conversations about the midfield. Who's he going to pick? Who's he going to leave out? He can't leave out this guy. When's Fabinho going to get a game? Again, all about options. So another reason why I think Marca's little comment makes sense. Reason number 8 is knockout know-how, which we have in spades. You don't just win Champions Leagues. It's ingrained in you. It's something that this club has been built to do. We have had many knockout games over the past 15, 20, even more, 30, 40, 50 years. It's in the club's DNA. We know how to get through them. We know when our back is up against the wall that we can come back. We know we can fight. We know it's there. Again, pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, but we know we can do it. Reason number 9 is, of course, it's Anfield, isn't it? It is Anfield. They reckon that Anfield can be the difference. Anfield can intimidate opposition fans. They went on to say that You'll Never Walk Alone is hugely intimidating to opposition players. And the flags, the banners, the songs, the jeering, everything that goes with a European night at Anfield can make a difference, can paralyse teams, which we've seen numerous times. Paralysed Roma, paralysed Manchester City. Didn't do too good for PSG the other night either when they came in. Team of superstars. They played in the Bernabeu, they played in the new camp, they played in Turin, they played everywhere. But again, at Liverpool it's a different kettle of fish, and their players couldn't step up and perform on the night. And the final reason that they've had, and excuse me that this has been a bit of a long conversation, guys, and I haven't got back into the chat, but it's they want it more. It's a very simple one. Marca think that Liverpool just want it more than some other teams, and that they're just scrapping and fighting more. And that's something that makes me as proud as any other comment on that list. The fact the Reds want it more. That means a lot to us as fans. We always ask the players to go out in the field, and above all else, just fucking die for the shirt. Put in a shift. You can forgive a lot of a player if you know he's given 100%. Nobody will ever slag somebody off if they've given 100%. I think anyway, if you can see it. You see it with Andy Robertson. We see it with Dirk Kuyt as well when he was here. You see it with Trent. So many other players. James Milner, 100% every single week. We want it more than other teams. And that's going to show as the season goes on. And it's some of the big reasons why we get through these tight games. Again, the other night against Paris Saint-Germain. How many teams in Europe would have just accepted that 2-2? How many teams may have even gone on to capitulate and lose the game 3-2? Liverpool conceded that goal, asked themselves a question, looked each other in the eye, looked at their teammates, listened to the crowd, and thought to themselves, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck Paris. Fuck Neymar. Fuck Cavani. This is our gaff. We're going to get this done. And they did. They went, they fought, they scrapped. 91st minute, Bobby Firmino stepped up with a bit of magic. The Reds get the 3 points, and the Champions League campaign is off to a cracking start. So again, excuse me that was a bit long. I thought it was a really good piece by Marca, and I just wanted to have a chat about it. Of course, I'm going to go into the chat now and see how you guys are feeling about the rest of the evening and about what I've just said, and get your comments. Okay, Connor having a shot of whiskey at his press conference, said Ant publicising his own whiskey, is it? Because that's out this week. It's called 12 somethings, or I think 12, something like that. I can't remember the name of it. Hazard will be good this season against us, said Scotty99. I think he's playing because he wants to get out of Chelsea. That's just my opinion. Somebody said it to me and it made sense. I think it might have been Connor, actually, that he's going to keep playing until he gets his move. Anyone getting Fallout 76, said Sean. That's way over my head, buddy. Not a computer game person at all. Okay, where else? No, wrong way. Craig for president, get your name on the ticket, pal, said Thomas Boland. I don't know why am I suddenly getting run for president. I'm taking it. I mean, I'm fucking taking it. If you guys would be stupid enough to vote me in as president, then I'm all over it. Poch is the new Jose, said Rod. Spurs are in a bit of trouble. I read an article today that Dave sent me on the building work that's going on inside Spurs Stadium, and it ain't pretty. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not in that new stadium till January. Could make a pro club. What else we got? Sub Mane for Shaqiri to see if Mo Salah can get his form back, said LFC forever. And again, another person there suggesting that we keep playing Mo into form, and I like that way of thinking as well. I just think that he could be a little bit exhausted after being rushed back for the World Cup, and I don't know if his shoulder has healed enough. Craig is reading straight from Jurgen's list, said Rod. It was a beautiful piece, a beautiful list, and I don't ever really give Mark a praise, but I thought they put a bit of research, a bit of thought into that one, and I thought it was very fair of them for once. Maybe in a few months it's getting released the same day as BF5. That's obviously a computer game. Frederick Ross said, if 17,000 are doing watch-alongs, why does the channel only have 3,000 subs? A lot of the time, mate, people are just tuning in from around the world, whether that be opposition fans or people who just want to pop in and get some coverage of the game, and maybe they just don't feel like coming back. I don't know, Frederick, mate. It often bugs me as well why we get some 17,000. If you had even 33,000 people watch some streams, mate. But yeah, you're right, we've got 3,800 odd subs at this moment in time. It'll keep growing. I think we've got the best subscribers in the game, I honestly do. I love the people in our chat, they keep coming back night after night. Will said, hit the subscribe button. 5 subs away from 3.9k now. So I think we can do it on this stream, guys. I really do. 5 subs away. I don't care if you guys have second accounts, whatever it takes. If you can just hit that subscribe button, it'll mean the world to us. The defence has been better than the attack this season, said Blue Tick Gaming. It has. And you know what? How great is it to say that? How great is it that we can say the midfield and the defence have almost carried us through so far? It's brilliant, because the forwards have done it enough times. They deserve a little bit of time off. Cod and chips, said Rod. Oh, you fuck have me hungry, Rod, will you stop? Damo, if you're still in the chat, buddy, did you ever track down those Kyo's crisps? Because I'm going to have a bag after this stream, actually. So I was thinking about you when I bought them today. This trackpad, this new touchpad I'm using, it takes some getting used to. It's so sensitive compared to the one on my MacBook. Rod said, agree with everything. Craig for president, get your name on the ticket, pal. It's like the club have thought, fuck it, time to win, more final dramas. Anfield is still a city stadium, not an outsourced high-tech outskirts arena, said Rod. That's true. How many times have we seen clubs build their stadiums outside? I think Atletico Madrid's is out near the airport now. That new wonderful stadium, is it Wanda Metropolitano or something like that. Wonderful stadium, but as you said, Rod, isn't really city centre. I'm not quite sure where the last one was, if I'm being honest, if that was city centre, but it does happen. It's very rare now that clubs can build a stadium where their old one was. Spurs are lucky in that sense. They've managed to get a site right beside White Hart Lane, build a stadium there. But some clubs do have to move far away. Obviously, makes sense if you're building a stadium and you can get a site 50% cheaper a mile or two down the road, then you can understand why they do that as well. I agree with everything, as I said Rod. Lars said, hi guys and good night. 5-0 for the Reds on Saturday. I'm having that one, Lars. 5-0 will do very nicely. Blue Tick Gaming said, Ox is doing well with his treatment and he said he can pass the ball now, but like 5 yards. His progression is going well. Wish him a fast recovery. Can't wait to see him on the pitch. I love Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Been a breath of fresh air at the club. And I love that the Arsenal fans feel like they've got one over on us, because as far as I'm concerned, we've got a fan in our fan base giving a young man and his father a trip to a Champions League final, giving them tickets, his own fucking tickets, giving away a shine shirt to this young dude as well. He's been sensational. He's been an absolute breath of fresh air at the club. I love Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I hope he comes back soon. We're missing him on the field. We're doing well, but we're missing him. You can always do with a player of his calibre. The defence be better than the attack, which we've touched on as well. Right. Officially more likes than viewers, said Squisms. There you go. We win. Why not? Fuck it. More likes than viewers, that'll do me. That means people are hitting the like button and I'm very thankful for that. Craig murdered a spider before, called it Neymar, it went missing for 90 minutes. We're trying to keep that one quiet, Steve, and we don't want the animal lovers killing me over that. 48 people watching the stream, 51 now, so we're going up. Not yet on the Kyo's crisps, Craig. Sauce, salt and vinegar, but holding out for the cheese and onion. You're doing right, Damo. You're doing right, mate. Those cheese and onion, they're different level stuff. If you really can't get them, I'm happy to post them up, buddy. Just let me know. I don't want to have anybody in the world begrudged of cheese and onion crisps of that calibre. Why have people stopped singing the second time "You'll Never Walk Alone" at the start of the game, said Lars. Haven't got a clue, buddy. Honestly couldn't tell you. Craig, the Saints won't go marching in on Saturday. They'll go marching fucking home with a sore ass. That's what's going to happen. We're going to give them an absolute fucking pasting, I think, at the weekend. What else have we got? James Milner's been shortlisted for the Champions League Player of the Week award, said Blue Tick Gamer. We spoke about this one earlier on. In fact, if you go onto the Anfield Agenda Twitter account, so if anyone doesn't know, it's just at Anfield Agenda. If you go over there and you look through our tweets, you'll see a tweet with the link to how you can vote for James Milner in that competition. It might be a bit of a thankless task because you probably expect Messi to win it with the game he had the other night, but it's great for James Milner to be nominated for this one. So if you can, and look, you can go onto the website as well, of course, UEFA's website, and do it on there. But if you want a quick link, have a look on our Twitter account, it's over there. Great news, by the way, guys. Actually, I forgot to say this. I'm such a fucking idiot. Great news. So, as you guys know, we did a competition the other day with Score Draw. We gave away a retro shirt to one of our followers. It was Charlene that won it in the end, so congratulations to her. I was on the Score Draw today, and that shirt is on the way to Charlene. But Score Draw have said that they'd like to continue to work with us going forward, so I'm going to just nail down the details, but it's looking like we'll be able to do some more giveaways of that fantastic Score Draw merchandise going forward. So that's only because of you guys. That's only because of the people that went over and retweeted that competition tweet, follow both accounts, and just let them know that we have a fan base here. We have a group of people who love the merchandise, so they're happy to work with us going forward. It might sound like a small thing, guys, but to me and Connor, that is absolutely massive. I said before, I think I have 2 or 3 Score Draw shirts in my wardrobe. I love their product. The product is sold in Liverpool club stores. It's sold in most sports outlets around the world. I absolutely adore Score Draw merchandise. So for them to want to work with us and continue to work with us going forward is massive to me and Connor. Yeah, it was a big news today when I got that email. I was able to share it with Connor. It's a rare win for us, and we're going to celebrate this one. We like to give stuff away. We like to give you guys as much stuff as we can. So to be able to work with a company like Score Draw to bring you more giveaways and give you more stuff, it's something that makes us smile, really makes us happy. So thank you to everybody that entered that competition, that went over, retweeted the tweet, liked the accounts. It's because of you guys taking the time to do that Score Draw have decided that it's worth taking a punt on us, working with us going forward. And yeah, more shit to give away. Why not? Happy birthday to Lars as well. Happy birthday to you, sir. Andy Robbo liked a tweet showing a wee Singapore fan singing his heart out, belted out LA, LA, LA. Again, that was something, Damo, we retweeted on our account. That was from ESPN, that interview. The little dude and his dad flew over from Hong Kong for the game of the weekend. Beautiful, absolutely fucking beautiful. Not the game of the weekend, sorry, the Champions League game, apologies. Flew over with his dad for the game against Paris Saint-Germain. The young man went on, he sang 2 or 3 different songs. The clip went on for a couple of minutes. Absolutely beautiful. And great to see a few of the players liking it as well. But it just goes to show, Liverpool stretches far and wide. That little dude is only, 3 or 4 years of age or something. Belting out "You'll Never Walk Alone," belting out LA, LA, LA. A cuter version of LA, LA, LA I don't think I've ever heard. Absolutely brilliant. Craig, the spider was invited, so technically it was a burglar. Damn right, Stephen. Just protecting my family, mate. Just doing what any of us would do. Score Draw is quality merchandise, said Stephen Richards. It really is. It's fucking brilliant. Brilliant for us to be able to do stuff with them going forward. Fuck me, Connor's press conference was some watch. I'm buzzing for the fight. Should have done a watch along for it. It was some television. My god, I can't wait. Hello to all the Reds. I can't wait to watch it back later on. I'm glad you said it was good. You never get shortchanged with a McGregor press conference, so I've no doubt it'll be a fun watch back. Probably why our numbers are a little bit lower tonight as well with people watching. Can't blame it. I mean, it's a big fucking fight. People are going to be hyped up for it. People are going to want to see that one. So let us know, McGregor or Khabib, if you're watching in the comment section. Let us know who you are. McGregor fan, Khabib fan. Obviously I'm Irish, I'm biased. Fully Conor McGregor, 100% here. And happy birthday, it was Lars, excuse me, Lars, happy birthday. I got that one completely wrong. Happy birthday to you, buddy. We are the People's Club, said Paul. Everett like to believe they are, mate, but they're so far wrong, it's not even funny. Anthony Peter said, Craig, check out Milner's Instagram or Bobby. Don't actually have Instagram, Anthony, so I can't check it out. Even though we do have an Anfield Agenda Instagram account, I don't have any access to it, so somebody's going to have to send me a link to that one or something to see it. Squism said, Craig, cheers for your generosity in giving away shirts. Few sites are so generous in their infancy. You and everybody at AA are legends. Thank you, Squisms, mate. Yeah, we try our best. We're not in this, we keep saying it, we're not in this to make money. It's never been a goal of ours. We want Anfield Agenda to be a community channel. We want it to grow and be for fans around the world, to have a place where they can come and talk about the Reds. If we can bring in a bit of income along the way and give that back to you guys, fucking brilliant. Of course, we'd like to improve the channel as we go forward. As I said today, we purchased some equipment and a few other bits and pieces, but we've given away 6 shirts in the past 3 months, so to be able to do that is brilliant, and I hope we can continue to do it going forward. But it looks like we should be able to now, so fucking brilliant. Ray Heffernan says, hey Craig, rare win, files not compute. You guys are doing a great job, and if you're a company to me during the game, well done on the endorsement from my friends. Thank you very much, Ray. It's fucking brilliant. I'm so happy about it. We did a little trial one with them, as we said, and yeah, it's a proud moment to be able to work with them. Conor McGregor, Warrior and Red Man. Yeah, he is a Red Man. Did you guys see, actually, True Geordie did a little documentary, brilliant documentary to be fair, on Conor McGregor, but at the very start of it he said he was a Manchester United fan, and I just went, oh, hello, sure, McGregor's a Liverpool fan. But look, as I said, it was a brilliant documentary, so I'm not in any way having a go at that gent. He's brilliant at what he does, and he does amazing work. Just that little one comment just made me sit up and go, oh, hello, I'm sure he's a Liverpool fan. Craig, you Jew. Yeah, that's a comment that I'm not really going to take very kindly to. Are you blind, for fuck's sake? But not because you're calling me anything, mate. You're just degrading an entire religion there, so fuck you is what I'm going to say to that one. Jewish people are fucking legends, so to call me a Jew, you're demeaning the Jewish people, mate. So fuck you is more likely where you're going to go with that one. Yeah, Conor going to eat Khabib. Do you know what? I'm just getting rid of this dude as well. Come on, where's me mods when I need them? Sorry guys, just waiting to boot this dickhead out of the chat. Anyway, he goes. Come on, you need to get on that one, mods. Clay, Klopp was obviously in the building work at Kirby, club going from strength to strength. As Stephen said, the club did have a bit of a groundbreaking ceremony today for the development of Kirby, first spade in the ground and all that stuff. So great to see the club doing that back in Jurgen Klopp's vision. It's going to be brilliant. £50 million facility there to bring the first team and the youngsters through into the same building or the same ground. And it'll be great for the manager as well. He'll be able to cast an eye over everybody and keep things ticking along. Khabib is going to ground and pound McGregor, said Nabil. That's if he can get him to the ground. That's the problem. People said the same thing when he fought that little dude. I can't even remember his name. That's how much I don't watch UFC too much. Oh God, what's the little dude's name? The little wrestler that he fought a few fights back, and McGregor ended up KOing. But they said the same thing about him. They said he'd never fought a proper wrestler before. Fought him, beat him. So never underestimate McGregor. That's all I'm going to say. Craig, Saturday is going to be what's this one? Where is it gone? Craig, Saturday is going to be a new format in the living room. I don't know yet, Paul, to be honest. I haven't really given it much thought, mate. May do it in the living room again, I'm not sure. Depends what the wifey's trying to do, or if she has people over, or, you know, it always depends on the family, buddy. Paul Turner has joined, mate. How are you? Great to see you in the chat. Crosby Red as well, just saying hello. Nabil said Conor didn't seem fazed by it at all, speaking about his dad and his president, and said he'd be sat there not looking. If Conor doesn't spark him out in the first round, said Ray, that's the thing. I think McGregor connects with that left and anybody's gone down. Getting sloppy, mod, said Joseph. It's a fantastic endorsement of Anfield Agenda when kit suppliers want to partner with you. Yeah, it was fucking nuts, Damo. The other day, I was just sitting there flicking through Twitter and I just noticed all of a sudden Score Draw followed us. And I was like, oh, hello. And I just made sure it was the real account because, you know, you often get clones and stuff on Twitter. So I said, oh, it is them. Brilliant. Of course, followed them back straight away. Then we got a message a while back saying, you know, I don't want to give away the details of the message, but, you know, asked them would we be up to doing stuff together. And of course I said yes. I said yes in a heartbeat. Let Connor know, and Connor was right behind it as well. So the fact that they do want to work with us, Damo, what you said, is it's brilliant. It's such a boost of confidence for us. It's unbelievable. I can't understate how much it means to us to be able to work with a company that we actually like that much. Because I said we buy their product anyway, so fucking class. Chad Mendes, thank you, buddy. And again, Ray as well. Chad Mendes, Nabil and Ray saved my ass. Sorry, would have helped with the trials, Craig, but only got 4 hours left on my FIFA trial. Man, you have at it. Enjoy your trial. Is it worth it? Let me know that one. Is the game any use? Khabib is a different type of wrestler. It's his art, said Nabil. Look, I'll bow down to your superior knowledge on this one, mate. I'm not a big UFC fan. I'll be watching the Anthony Joshua fight on Saturday. That much I'm sure about. I think it's a bit of a joke fight, to be fair. They're trying to make it out like it could be a 50-50 fight. They're trying to make it out like it's only the Klitschko loss, and other than that this guy hasn't really had any troubles. Well, look, he did. He got fucking wobbled in the last fight by somebody who Anthony Joshua would sparko in 2 or 3 rounds. And I don't mean to disrespect a guy from Liverpool, but look, let's be honest about it. Povetkin he's above average. He's a very good fighter, but he's 38 years of age. He's too small, too compact. I think Joshua has him on range. Joshua has him on agility. David Price, as I said, wobbled Povetkin. I just don't see this one. You can kind of tell by the bookies' odds. You look at what the bookies are quoting on this fight, and they're letting you know that it's not really as much of a competition as we're being led to believe. Have to practice with the swing of the spanner, said Rod. The trolls are getting smarter, said Joseph. The living room green screen rocked the illustration of Connor. It was like he was actually there. The Combat 2000. Stephen Richards said, Craig, you don't realise how much I look forward to Anfield Agenda. Thank you, my friend. My pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure, Stephen. It's great fun being on here, so you guys never have anything to thank us for. We're a family on here, as I keep saying. Craig, we're like the Kevin Costner, the Untouchables, said Stephen. And Skipper Dog saying he's a Pool fan. He is, exactly. That's why I was a little bit taken back when I seen that he said he was a United fan. And again, Skipper Dog saying Mendes. It was Chad Mendes, buddy. Thank you. You guys are always saving my ass on this. I want to say a massive apology to everybody as well that we didn't get the podcast out today. Fucking killed me that we couldn't get it out. But there were some technical issues that weren't at my end, so I couldn't sort them. Yeah, it's the first one I think we haven't followed through on, so I do sincerely apologise. We'll try and get the guys back on and get that done soon enough. But again, just an apology we didn't get it out earlier on this evening. Can we have a mod psychologist to help with the power trip, said Rod. No, you enjoy that power trip, mate. Become a dictator. Rule with an iron fist. Ray said, what do you guys think? Give Mo a wee holiday or let him try and get a few goals against the Saints? This is the 54, whatever that phrase is, the $64,000 question. I would give him a rest, Ray, if I'm being honest. I think he was rushed back from the World Cup. He didn't really get that much of a break. I think his shoulder isn't exactly healed. I would have said it was healed until I seen the brace that he had on it, or the strapping that he had on it against Spurs. I think that giving him these next 2 games off could make a world of difference in the long term to a season. And I understand people's comments that they say, no, just keep playing him, play him into form. I get that, but if he's exhausted, we could be just making it worse. Even if you're mentally exhausted, you're not going to get the type of performances out of him that you'd want. So personally, I'd let him have a break. I think we can cope. I think Shaqiri can come in and do an excellent job. Bobby seems like he's back as well, in those fucking cool shades. How cool did he look in them at training? Edgar Davids-esque. Craig, this fella on Saturday night is no Ivan Drago. He definitely isn't an Ivan Drago, you're right. He's he's a blocky little dude, to be fair. He's a decent fighter, Povetkin, but Josh was going to spark him out inside 6, in my humble opinion. And as I said, I'm a lot more confident discussing boxing than I am with UFC, because I'm a complete blow into UFC, but been watching boxing. Now look, I haven't been in and around the boxing game, not a boxer myself, nor have I trained in gyms or anything, just from watching it as a fan. Been watching it since I was knee high to a grasshopper, so yeah, I do feel I can talk about boxing with a little bit more confidence than UFC anyway. Trolls evolving, said Ryan. Khabib hasn't got the speed to stand up, he's bang average, but he's a monster on the ground, said Skipper Dog. Well, you can be sure that Kavanagh and McGregor are going to be worked on that. They're going to work on defending different levels, and Khabib's going to be working on ways of attack to try and get Conor down to the ground. Look, I think sometimes when we're looking at these fights, and again I'm speaking at this from a very, very naive standpoint, we might underplay McGregor's abilities to wrestle at times, and we may appreciate Khabib's striking, but at the end of the day we're going to find out on October 6th. It really does make for a 50-50 fight, a pick-em fight, whatever you want to call it. It's brilliant, it's what UFC needs, and the reason why I like this so much is UFC don't protect their fighters. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, I mean that in the most respectful way possible. The best fight the best in the UFC, and I think this is something that boxing can learn a lot from. There's too much fucking politics in boxing, and you can say with the UFC as well that the fighters aren't paid enough. I get all that side of it, but just from a spectacle point of view for the fans, I think the UFC, the fighters are much more not approachable, what's the word I'm looking for, much more accessible to the fan base. And the best fight the best, and that's what fans want to see. You have the two best in that division fighting each other. You had it with McGregor, and you had it with Aldo. You've had it time and time again in other weight divisions. The best fight the best in the UFC, and for me, boxing needs to do that. If it's going to keep up, if it's going to try and keep all these new fans of, I won't say mixed martial arts, but fans of combat sport, if they want to get them over the boxing, then we've got to stop these iffy fucking judging decisions like we've seen a lot of times over the past few years. And you've got to have the best fighting the best. You cannot hide them because of politics, promotional companies, what are they called, fucking governing bodies. So many reasons why boxing fights don't happen, but the fans want to see the best fighting the best, and the fans are the ones that are fucking shelling out for this. So that's why I give the UFC a tip of my cap. They do make sure the best excuse me, the best fight the best. It's not a spanner, it's a bloody big wrench, said Meganonki. Craig, can't wait for the Anfield Agenda end of season party when we're covered in silverware. I can't wait for the end of the season either, mate. I'm really interested to go. Maybe we should do a little pool on where we'll be with subscribers by the end of the season. So who thinks we're going to be past, let's say, 5k? Give us a guess now for just a couple of minutes for the laugh. Give me a guess of where you think we're going to be at the end of the season with regards to subscribers. I've absolutely got no clue how to work this one out or how to guess it. 5,000 was our target when we started the season, and I thought that was a really optimistic target. But things have gone well over the past couple of months, so maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll even surpass it, who knows. Sorry for repeating, I missed the Y off, bloody. No worries, buddy. I'm like that as well. If I make a mistake, it kills me. Mo needs a blow, says Stephen Richards. Is the Saints match at home? It is indeed, Joseph. A couple of people think it's away, but no, it's most certainly at home. Right, where else have we got? See, even Meganonki's confused there, thinking it's at home. Or away, excuse me. Yes, Joseph, but it's not on TV. It is in Ireland, Crosby Red. That's the good thing. As I said, Sky can show some 3 p.m. kickoffs over here in Ireland, so I'm actually going to have a proper, I won't say stream of the game because it's going to be on Sky, so I'll have a proper viewing of the game through Sky Sports over here in Ireland. So if any of you guys have Sky Sports, look, how can I say this without getting in trouble on the channel? A DNS proxy would be a suggestion if anybody hasn't looked into them before. I can't really say too much more because I don't want to get suspended from the channel. But Sky Ireland are showing, Sky Sports Ireland are showing the fight at 3 p.m. or not the fight, the game at 3 p.m. and I can get to watch it, which is fucking brilliant. And I will of course be doing a watch along of that game for anyone who's going to ask. So if you want to come along, join us for that one. If you can't get a stream, if you can't get it on the TV, please do join us over here from about 2:30. We'll be doing a watch along. Yeah, going for 7 out of 7, guys. Can't get much better than that. As Megan Donkey said, it's on Sky in the Republic of Ireland. How many sleeps until Florida? Asks Stephen Richards. I'll tell you right now, mate. Get me little app up. There. Can you guys see it? I think you can. 18 sleeps until Orlando, Stephen. 18 precious little days until we go on our family vacation. I cannot wait. Liverpool good to use on FIFA 19, said Ryan. There you go. There's an endorsement from Ryan. Guys, last shout out on this one, I promise. But if you're watching, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 3,900 subs on this stream. I don't know where we're at the minute. I haven't had a chance to check, but we couldn't be too far away. So if you're watching and you're enjoying the stream, great to hear that you're enjoying it. We really do appreciate that. But please hit that subscribe button, guys. If you're watching this on playback later on as well, it means the world to us. And to hit these little markers as we go along, it's good. It gives us a little boost and gets us out of those days, you know, where you just feel a little bit tired and you're questioning yourself and you think, God, will I go on, do this? And, you know, little markers like these help us through it. So if you can hit that like button, hit the sub button, we'd really appreciate it. Graham Souness would knock out Khabib, said Gareth Phillips. Damn fucking right he would. Damn right he would. Whether it be on the fucking ground or standing, Souness would knock him out. And even at this age he would, because Souness is hard as fucking nails, isn't he? Right, where else are we? I'm getting used to this little touchpad now as we go along. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is now able to pass the ball again after intense rehabilitation, said Louis, which is fucking brilliant. Cannot wait to have that gentleman back playing for Liverpool. Absolutely love Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Craig, UFC is basically jiu-jitsu with attitude. Never heard it described like that before, mate, but why not? Diaz had Conor on the floor and he tapped him out. He'll start swinging. He did, absolutely. I mean, Nate Diaz took some punishment in that fight, Paul. Jesus Christ. I absolutely was won over by Nate Diaz. He is a fucking warrior. I thought McGregor was going to stop him a couple of times during that fight. And he gassed himself. He absolutely gassed himself. Nate Diaz was able to take everything Conor threw at him and just beat him. As you said, he tapped him out in the end. So, much respect. Much respect to Diaz. Absolute fucking warrior. Conor was a bit more clever in the rematch, but it was still a very, very close fight. But yeah, you're right. He did. But I think that had more to do with, one, Conor putting on too much muscle and gassing himself. Two, it being at the higher weight. And again, Diaz just having a rock hard fucking chin. In Dublin, mate, the main spot. Don't go near Temple Bar if you're coming to Dublin. Jesus Christ, stay away from Temple Bar. You will be absolutely fucking fleeced if you come to Dublin and go to Temple Bar. I've seen people pay over €12 for a pint of Guinness after 11 p.m. in Temple Bar. Do not go near it. There's much better places in Dublin to go than Temple Bar. Try Camden Street, Wexford Street. If you're heading out towards the suburbs, there's so many brilliant places to go. But Temple Bar is absolute, what we like to call paddywhackery. It is where so many stag parties and tourists, and it's just a robbery. I would never advise anyone to go near Temple Bar. I think it shows the worst of Ireland, and it just makes us look like a crowd of ripping off bastards. 10k for Alex. I hope you get to 10k, mate. That would be awesome. Glad you have so much belief in us. Thank you. 5.6k for Jake Murray. Very precise, Jake. I like it. I'd be happy with 5.6k as well, mate. Don't get me wrong. Fucking hell. That's anything that gets past our 5k guess is brilliant. I was actually thinking earlier, how does Craig stay motivated to come on here every night? I'm quite good with routine, Ryan. If I promise something to somebody, I'll do my best to get out and do it. So I know that I'm not being big-headed enough to say I know that people are waiting for the stream every night, but people have got into a routine, much like myself, and they get used to the stream coming on every night. And I think if you're going to progress as a channel and you're going to get subscribers and you're going to get a good base of people behind you, you have to be consistent. And being consistent is, for me, one of the most important things for any channel. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I make sure I keep coming on every night, mate. I think I owe it to everybody. Consistency is key for me when you're making content. I've watched the YouTube videos and they're asking other fighters, and it was 50 fighters on who will win. I've been 3 UFC, you know, you probably do if you're from Dublin, you probably know Chris Fields. He gave us some tickets, so we went to the Bama night. It was a good night's fighting. Not sure if it's on the same level. I know it isn't with regards to fan base, but I mean the quality of fighting, I'm not sure if it's up there with UFC. But we had a great night, really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, said Megan Anke, he was, and what a fucking chin. The Diaz brothers are tough guys. Yes, they fucking are proper lads as well. I love them, both of them. I love their attitude. Don't give a single fuck. Love it. Love people with that attitude in life. They believe in what they believe in. They believe what they think is right, and they stick true to that, and they speak their mind. And I always respect anyone that comes out and speaks their mind, because I'm similar myself. Somebody saying VPN, absolutely. As I said, I can't really be reading that out, but yeah. Ryan's Bar, Camden Street, only place to go. Quality pub, said Thomas Boland. Paddy Whacker, he said Rod. Yeah, that's what we call it. To be sure, Turra, and all that stuff. Come over here, come into the shop, buy the old Shamrock. Oh sure, look, there's me leprechaun, he's only wandering around the bar. All that type of nonsense. Guys, predictions for the Southampton game of the weekend before we head into the last 15 minutes of the stream. And has anybody got a topic, by the way, for us for the last 15 minutes? I keep forgetting about that one, but yeah, predictions for the weekend. I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to go 4-0 for Liverpool on Saturday against Southampton. Even if we do change around the team a bit, I'm still confident we'll get a 4-0 win. To be fair, I don't drink that much. You Irish probably just soak it up, said Rod. Are you coming over to Ireland, Rod? If you're coming over to Ireland, dude, you've got to let me know. I don't drink myself, as you know. As I said before, I'm not really a drinker, so I'd never be caught paying 12 quid for a fucking pint of Guinness. But if you're coming over, Rod, let me know. I'll definitely sort you out with a few bits and pieces. We all miss Ronda Rousey, says Gareth Phillips. She's in WWE now, so at least she's still around. 3-0 for Paul, 4-0 for Megan Anke, 3-0 for Thomas Boland, Salah, Mane and a VVD header. Good man, Tom. Giving me my VVD header. Exactly what I need to get that bet up. 3-0 for Joseph Reardon as well. Lots of 3-0s. I love the way we're all going for a clean sheet as well. Love that. Paul Turner as well, in with a 3-0. Joseph, bang, snap, 3-0 as well. Love it. Clean sheets galore. And what changes? Again, another quick one before we finish up. What changes are we expecting? I have said that I think Shaqiri's going to come in. I think we may see Naby Keita come back in. I'm not 100% sure on where I stand on Firmino maybe having another rest and bringing Sturridge in. It's a tough one. I can understand both ways on it. But other than that, I'm not really sure we'll see too many changes. Matt Letizia, would he make this Liverpool team? No. He wouldn't have a high enough work rate, Gareth. That's why I don't think he'd make it. I think he's quality-wise, yes, of course, Matt Letizia is an excellent footballer, but I don't think that he'd be able to put in the work rate that we'd need in this team. I have an All-Ireland match against Everton under 24s on Saturday. Good luck, Craig, mate. I'm sure you'll do well. Let us know how you get on. Love to know the score. But brilliant. That's excellent, mate. Honestly, I really am pleased. Good. Let us know how you get on. I played many All-Irelands myself over the years. I remember going all the way down to Limerick. Are they called Pike Rovers or Pike Celtic? But they gave us a fucking kicking 4-0 when we got down there. It was like the longest trip I can remember driving on the coach from Dublin. We got down there, quarter-final to the All-Ireland, and yeah, we got our asses handed to us. I'll never forget that fucking game. Movies where LFC players could be in. Boom. Great one, Paul. Nailed it. We'll go with that. So as Paul has suggested, movies that LFC players could be in, or what characters they could play. Definitely go with that one. Big Tiss was a magician, said Megan Onke, and he thinks he'd fit in the team. There used to be a pub in Berlin called the Man Trap, which is a basement under the road and had punk bands and 2 holes for toilets. Nice, classy joint. Like it. But to be fair, look, if you're having a few pints, you don't give a shit where you piss, do you? Just anywhere. Just give me a hole and I'll piss into it. It's grand. Never left Southampton. That is loyalty. It is. To be fair to him, it is great loyalty to say it's Southampton. But I don't think he'd get in this Liverpool team because of his work rate. Brilliant footballer though, as you said, an absolute magician. Once saw a bunch of transvestites beating each other up in a bar. That was interesting. I'd say it was, Rod. I'd say it was. Right, so guys, as Paul suggested, for the last 15 minutes tonight, let's talk about some movies that Liverpool players could be in, or what roles in movies Liverpool players could take up. Gonna be some interesting answers on this one, I'd say. Okay, I get it, you don't want to talk about transvestites. No problem talking about transvestites. Eddie Izzard, one of my favourite comedians of all time, Rod, is a transvestite, so I've no issues talking about transvestites. Don't know many more, but happy to talk about them. Mignolet in Shrek as the donkey. Surely as the donkey though, Tom, and not as Shrek. But he also has SpongeBob SquarePants the movie, so we got to give him that one. VVD as John Wick, said Megan Onke. Nice. Paul's gone with Firmino and Mane in Pulp Fiction. Class. I can definitely see those two on that one. Who'd make the speech though? Who would give the speech that does Marcelo Wallace look like a bitch? Who'd give that speech, Paul? Most underrated player. Last night's question said Skipper Dog. I did promise Skipper Dog we'd do this, so maybe we can go with both of them, both questions. Most underrated player at Liverpool, and as Paul suggested, film roles that Liverpool players could go with. Was that of all time, Skipper Dog, or currently in the team? I can't remember. If it's currently in the team, then for me it's definitely Gini Wijnaldum. I think he's the most underrated player we currently have at the club, closely followed by our captain. Of all time, that would be a tough question. VVD could be the new Arnie in Total Recall. It's a good show. Firmino in True Grit with the eye patch. I seen somebody put up a picture of that actually the other day, and I was wondering what film it was from. Mo Salah and Dejan Lovren in True Bromance. Damo straight in there, inventing films. Or is there a film called True Bromance? No, it's True Romance. Surely there's not one called True Bromance as well. VVD in Terminator, said Crosby Red. I'll be back. I can actually imagine him saying that, to be fair, but he'd say it in a much fucking more suave, cool manner, wouldn't he? Sticky is signing off. Have a good one, all you beautiful people. Cheers, Stiggy. Talk to you soon, buddy. Thanks for joining us on the stream. Guys, I said last show, I'm going to be greedy. Last show, don't forget to hit the sub button if you're watching, guys. Really want to try and get to that 3,900 subscriber mark. 300, said Frankie. Another belter of a film. Oh, I'm have to turn it off my screen here, guys. Bear with me. Silly me's after turning off my TV screen. Lots more good comments coming in on the films. And the most underrated player, Skipper Dog, was that of all time, or was it of recent times? Because I definitely think it's Gini Wijnaldum if we're talking about players who are currently undervalued at the club. He's been absolute quality this season in particular. There we go. Screen's back up and running. Mignolet the Gimp in Pulp Fiction. What else we got? Loads of people saying good night to Sig. Phil and Gary Neville in Brokeback Mountain. Said Megan Lamke. So it's not only gay cowboys at this, it's incestual gay cowboys we're going for in Brokeback Mountain this time. We're really reinventing the narrative on this one. Moreno in The Great Escape. Actually, would it not be better to put in Lazar Markovic in The Great Escape, because he's been getting away with fucking murder for a long time at this club. So yeah, maybe him in The Great Escape would be a little bit better. Alberto Moreno in Herbie Goes Bananas, said Damo. I loved those films when I was a kid. Loved the Herbie films. Good night, Frederick, mate. Thank you for joining us on the stream. Always a pleasure. The Wizard of Ozil. Nice one, Rod. Clever. Ozil in The Hills Have Eyes. Nice. Another good show. Beavis and Butthead. There's another belter. Milner and Running Man. Nice. He could also be Forrest Gump in the most respectful way, I mean, because of the running, where he just kept running and running and running and running and running. Not because I think he's fucking stupid, because of course James Milner is absolutely far from stupid. Best social media game I've seen in ages as well. Markovic and Dude, Where's My Club? Nice. Nice, Tom. Dude, Where's My Club? Mignolet and Edward Scissorhands. Yeah, Johnny Depp's turned into a bit of a fucking lunatic, actually, hasn't he? He's always been strange, but he's gone extra strange over the past 10 years. Dude, Where's My Club? That one really has me smiling. Wait, have we any more before we finish up? Any more suggestions? Lots of people wanting to head off and get some rest, and that's completely understandable. Tomorrow though, guys, we will of course be just looking ahead to the game on Saturday. 2 more sleeps to go until the Reds are back in action. How fucking sweet is that? Milner is of course Benjamin Button, Paul. You're right, there can be no other film for James Milner than Benjamin Button. The whole Man United team in the Night of the Living Dead. What about Mourinho? What does that make him? Sean Dundee in Crocodile Dundee. First film I've ever seen in the cinema actually was Crocodile Dundee. Alison in Magnum. Have we any more before we finish up? Where was Skipper Log's comment actually? He did let me know, I want to make sure. No, he retracted his message. Has he had one since then? Salah in Lawrence of Arabia. No worry about the question of the other night, Craig. Loads of other nights. Absolutely, Skipper Dog. I'm sorry, just remind me, mate. I keep forgetting. If you remind me at the start of the stream, it'll be much easier for me to put it in at the end. I just completely forgot. I do apologise. Ian Rush in Magnum, said Rod. Emre Can in Greece. There has to be a good old sexist film we could stick him in as well, because I think he got off way too lightly with that comment. As I said, it's something that I could have easily said myself, and I think many people might have said similar things, but when you compare it to how other people have been treated for similar comments in the world, it just goes to show how much of fucking hypocrites we are. Particularly us football fans, we are absolute hypocrites. I am definitely a hypocrite. Night, Paul, buddy. Right, guys, you know what? Alison as Thor. I think there is a good place as any to leave it. Ryan saying Hendo and James Bond. Last shout, guys, don't forget, hit that like button on your way out the door tonight if you're heading to bed, and of course don't forget to hit the sub button as well. Thank you so much to everybody who joined us. Emre Can and Taxi Driver, said Megan Anki to finish up. How about Allardyce in Anal Slaves and Chains? Have to take your word for that one, Rod. Not really one I've seen. But look, guys, thank you so much for joining us again tonight. I look forward to tomorrow, where we're going to have a little look ahead to the game on Saturday. To everybody in the chat, I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. To those of you watching who may not have come into the chat, next time drop in, let us know your comments. We always love to hear them. Always love to interact with new Reds. Until tomorrow, guys, as always, I'll end by saying, up the motherfucking Reds. Good night, guys.